All right, come in, Lapo.
Here we are.
We don't get this opportunity too often, or let's say we're quite humbled and impressed by the fact that we have here probably the peak of automotive engineering when it comes to combining Formula One technology in a street car, the Aston Martin Valkyrie, in our shop here at Vulcan Alpha to do... We'll tell you maybe, yeah, we'll do a walk around, of course, but we also, what we did with it is we used our beautiful shining 3D scanner to scan the car so we can 3D print it maybe or something. Should we slap the front wing on the speedster? Imagine.
It would actually almost fit.
I wonder if the design is trademarked and if we'll... Anyway, what we're doing here is usually, of course, we design and develop parts, but it's also good to see what others are doing and to see what we can do with it. But for today's video, I'm really curious to hear Lapo's opinion as a design and aerodynamics engineer on this fantastic creation by Adrian Newey, for you probably a god among living. I remember also when we did our first video with Speedster, a lot of people called you the next Adrian Newey.
No.
Humble as always, humble as always. But let's talk about this marvel of engineering. National aspirated Cosworth V12, 6.5 liter, I believe, with Rimac Automobili, or Rimac technology nowadays. Electrical powertrain of, I think, roughly 150 horsepower. So enough horsepower, over 1,000, I think 1150-ish. Very, very fast. I wonder how fast around the Nürburgring. That would be nice to find out. Unfortunately, we will not find out today, not with this particular car, because it's missing some plates. It's just been picked up from Aston Martin Tech Center here at the Nürburgring. What's your favorite part about the car?
I would say that the whole package is really impressive. Actually, what it's done with the car, it's a marvelous piece of engineering. It's really incredible. The technology that they could put into a road car, to me, it's almost silly, to be honest. It's basically, if you look at it, it's an LMP car more than an F1 car on wheels. You have the complete monocoque. You're sitting basically like in an LMP car all the way. You can see where the pedals are. The nose is really narrow, and you have the suspension points basically above your feet. So it's basically the same layout. You have incredibly aerodynamic front nose.
That is insane aero, but you know what also has insane aero? Not a unicorn, although it has some air because it's an air balloon. No, a helicopter, because we are doing helicopter rides above the Nürburgring Nordschleife, so you can check out the track from an above perspective for €139 per person, or for €199 for the full helicopter with 4 people, or just by yourself if you want to have less weight and therefore faster helicopter times, lap times. You can time yourself, who cares? And we're also doing track walks on 17th and 18th of May during the Green Hell driving days for €99 per person. That includes the track walk, the ride along, the maybe cheeky giveaway, media, so afterwards you're gonna get pictures and the video. Yeah, just simply good vibes. Anyway, let's talk more about the nerdy stuff now.
Protagonist of everything is, of course, the front wing that distributes the air, the turbulent, let's say, from laminar to turbulent, all the way through the car. So if there's a possibility to show it, but the car...
Grab some fancy sonic lights.
Let's go, yeah, some lights.
Yes, there we go.
This is, like, let's say, a conventional styled F1 wing, more or less. So you can see the multi-elements to help with downforce and manage the flow of the air. These elements create vortices to help and guide the air around the wheels and on the back of the chassis.
Yeah, you can actually see, it's almost an open wheel car.
It is an open wheel car with some bodywork on top.
Oh wow, look, I've never seen like the carbon fiber panel around the wheel.
Yeah. That's technology that's been used in LMP and F1 for ages now, and it's then, of course, not in really road cars, but in this one it is, because call it a road car is a bit of a misunderstanding, even if it is.
Yeah.
But to me, the packages is incredible. Packaging, sorry guys, is incredible. All the suspension pickup points are fascinating. This is something that I want to start messing with. It's basically a flexible polymer to hide all the suspension pickup points, so it creates a smoother, more, let's say, aerodynamic shape for the air to pull through.
So is this on purpose with this? Oh yeah, it's flexible.
Yeah, right. This is so basically the suspension can actuate itself and it still keeps the body line smooth. Because if you didn't have this, you would see a ball joint
That's actually interesting. Wow, such a small but beautiful detail.
From, let's say, 2020 on, from the change of regulations, you see less aggressive barge boards in F1, but you can actually see this.
How do you call it? Barge port?
Barge board, yeah. This
Barge board with a B.
barge board, yeah.
Okay, I felt like barge port, like when like a ship, like a barge going into a port. Anyway.
This element basically helps guide the air from the tire wake away from the floor, which is the car's biggest downforce creating element. This lip here creates a vortex that seals this part of the flow from the tire wake and helps with extraction.
Yeah, that's I guess for the usability function that it's
this is
made
probably
out of.
bolted or actually, yeah, you can see bolts here. So you probably unscrew that and there's maybe some double-sided tape or glue, whatever, that you can take off and replace. So from the front, you can actually understand that the air, of course, is coming way to the back, and it's then collected by the top port, which is similar to the F1 ports that are probably more in the front of the monocoque of the car in F1. This is moved on the side, and this feeds all the induction air for the engine, for the cooling system, and all the parts there. And then in the bottom is the floor, the Venturi tunnel that feeds the floor. And if you look, it goes like in F1, more or less. It's been sealed from the tire wake from the front wheel by the barge board and also from this element here. This one basically creates another vortex that seals the floor, helps with increasing downforce. This element here, now it's a bit, you need to actually have CFD to like completely understand what's going on. The element over there helps seal the diffuser at the back.
Like this little lip?
Yeah, the wingtip, the vortex generator helps seal the rear of the floor from the tire wake, and it helps with increasing the speed of the air and keeping it attached to all the panels.
There's another interesting part here, which is the camera. Looks not only aerodynamically, but it's like what, 3D printed?
Yeah.
It looks like SLS or?
This is metal-based 3D print. And it's actually pretty cool. Good eye. It's actually two-piece because...
Oh, that's like a bit of...
Yeah, that's forged carbon.
Oh, okay.
And this is extraction, so a low pressure, probably the air comes here and helps take out the turbulent air, the tire wake from inside the wheel arch. So here you have a suction air because the air comes very fast and pulls the air that's slow in the other position. Mm-hmm. Here the cockpit, as we said before, very small, very compact, helps with reducing the frontal area of the car. Big air intake probably for the engine, yeah, so the side ones are probably for cooling and the top one for the engine. Usually when the air comes from this direction, it's a bit hotter because you have the braking system. In some cars you have the cooling system like radiators at the top. So if you see a roof scoop, if you see it on the top, it's usually for the intake system because it gets clean air and not heated up air.
Anyway, let's move away from the front because it makes me just jealous of not being able to drive this thing, at least today on the track. Ooh, that's funny actually. It's on Cup 2 and 2, and that's like, as far as I know, Porsche compound, or at least like traditionally utilized. So it's not like some special AMR or something or Valkyrie compound, but who knows? Who knows?
From the top, you can see the air flows over the car around the cockpit area, and it gets directed by this tunnel, this, let's say, valley to the rear wing, which is adjustable.
But it's fixed.
Yeah, it's fixed.
So not active.
I don't think so. No, it's fixed. Yep. And strangely enough,
but so are the Formula 1 cars have DRS though.
Yeah, basically it's the same thing as this. Instead of having fixed mounting points, they have an actuator, hydraulic or pneumatic actuator. Usually it's a hydraulic that instead of fixing the wing in this way, it actually lifts it up. So lifting it up, you reduce the frontal area of the wing and you create less drag. Less drag equals usually to less downforce also, but also more speed, so you go faster on the straights. With the Magic Stick, I'm going to show you some features. One of them, actually, let's go on top first, is all the suspension and pickup points are above the diffuser. So everything is concealed and packaged really well. You have heat insulation for all the components that doesn't need to be cooked by heat, for example, carbon. And that's something that maybe also you guys that do racing should consider better because, for example, axles can heat up because the spherical joints heat up, and they could, like, if you have a panel really close, they could actually burn it.
What Lapo is trying to say, if you need heat insulation for your exhaust to not mess up your car, reach out to us.
Well, I'm trying to give a good advice to, like, try and mitigate. The first thing you need to do on your race car, on your...
He's being humble. I'm not. Reach out to us.
Well, you have all the suspension pickup points and, yeah, the valve for the exhaust, the insulation for the exhaust, and underneath it, the big diffuser that
It's massive.
it's really big. It's actually way bigger than F1's. And you can see over there you have a small aerodynamic winglet that's...
This metal one?
No, that's that's active aero. So basically what it does, it disrupts the flow, it creates vorticity, and it basically stalls the diffuser, so it creates less downforce.
Crazy. And then here we have this like little fin.
The fin, I'm sure it creates a vortex to help with manage the airflow. The same with this shape here. So what I'm, let's say, analyzing here, it helps with the flow to rotate, and it helps with the air to stick to the top of the diffuser. And it's the cool thing, it's probably also this piece here, which is the end of the transmission. So this is probably attached to the engine cradle, which doesn't have a cradle because it's probably a stressed piece, and it's a crash element. So this is in the front, and in the back you have two cones, let's call them cones, that are meant to be crumple zones. So this, when the car gets hit, is what gets the most of the impact, and it crumbles and helps you not to die.
Probably come in handy when someone tries to really analyze the diffuser from the back while driving a car behind it and forgets to hit the brakes. Like, ooh. And now we're gonna find out how expensive it is.
Every time you look at this car, you find something cooler to look. For example, these tension rods to help with the stability of the diffuser so that it doesn't flex.
Mad flex, bro.
Mad flex, yeah. The lights, which are nice.
Yes, let's call it that way.
And the exhaust, which blows basically under the wing and it helps with airspeed.
Fun fact, to save weight, probably to save weight, it does not have rear gear. It's electric only. So if you're out of battery, yeah, you're gonna have an issue pushing it back out on the trailer. And therefore, we're gonna end this video here because the car needs to go back home. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you very much, Lapo, for the explanation.
I'll try my best.
Who knows? Well, one day maybe we'll build something ourselves like this.
Yeah, we're gonna need a bigger team, but yeah.
Apple also started from a garage.
True.
Thank you very much, my dear friend, owner, who stopped by on the way home with this. And yeah, hopefully you will get to drive, to engineer, etc. Live your dreams, don't dream your life. That's what I'm trying to say. And it's amazing. So thank you very much. Thank you for joining us on this journey, and see you next time. Bye. All right, let's print this wing and slap it on the Speedster.
No, to be honest, I can take inspiration from this, and then when we're gonna go crazy with the Speedster, do something similar.